Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dig in.
Awesome. So today we're looking at something really interesting. It's Soliloquy 5, Befriending Your Neighbor.
Yes.
From, of course, E.B. Como's Akiroro Donkey Chronicles.
Great book.
Have you had a chance to check it out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like required reading at this point, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And this excerpt, it really gets into the nitty-gritty of building trust between groups.
Definitely.
But specifically focusing on the eyes on people, the Niger Delta.
Right.
Which adds like this whole other layer.
It does. Because you've got this fascinating mix of cultural identity and then the need for like broader unity.
Exactly. And what I found so intriguing was how Como links individual connections to that larger societal harmony.
It's like he's saying you can't have one without the other.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today. Why that's so important.
I'm excited for this.
Me too. Now, Como doesn't really mess around, does he?
No, he does not. He's very direct.
He comes right out and says, friendship cannot be legislated, just as peace cannot be mandated.
Such a powerful statement.
It is. It throws a wrench in the idea of just like...
top-down solutions.
Yeah, top-down solutions, exactly.
Like you can't just force people to get along, right?
Right. So then where do we even begin?
Right.
If we can't just like legislate harmony, how do you actually build these bridges, especially between groups with like drastically different viewpoints?
Well, Como suggests that ignoring those differences is almost like playing with fire.
Ooh, I like that.
Because he's arguing that resentment, even on a small scale, can spread like wildfire.
It's true.
And eventually engulf entire communities.
Absolutely.
So the takeaway here for me anyway is the need for being proactive.
Yeah.
Building relationships, addressing those conflicts head on.
Right.
Before they escalate.
Before they become something much bigger.
Exactly.
Okay, I see where he's going with this.
Okay.
Now, the excerpt really highlights the Izon people as the largest tribe in the Niger Delta. And that got me thinking, does their size come with a certain responsibility?
That's a great question. It's definitely something Como grapples with.
It is, right. Is there like a historical precedent that informs how they should approach advocating for justice?
Absolutely. Being the majority group, it does place the Izon in this really unique position, right?
Right.
They have a larger platform, greater influence, and that gives them significant leverage when advocating for change.
They have the power, yeah.
They do, but it requires a nuanced approach,
Oh, absolutely.
There's this need to be sensitive to the needs and perspectives of the smaller minority groups.
The balancing act, for sure.
It is. It's about using that influence responsibly, not just asserting dominance.
Right, because they were once a minority themselves.
Exactly.
Which Como really drives home when he says, the world is a small place, and as an oppressed people, we cannot afford to fight ourselves forever.
That's a powerful quote.
It is. It feels like he's drawing on specific historical lessons. What's he alluding to there?
He's talking about their experience, like you said, under Nigeria's old eastern region, where they were a minority group.
Okay.
So they understand what it feels like to be marginalized, unheard.
To be the other.
Exactly. And that shared experience, I think, can be a powerful tool for empathy.
It's like walking in someone else's shoes.
Exactly. It allows them to understand and advocate for the needs of other minority groups.
And break that cycle of oppression.
Exactly. Breaking that cycle is key.
That's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So how does Como propose we break down these walls of distrust and fear?
Well, he keeps coming back to this idea of individual one-on-one friendships.
I know. It sounds so simple.
Right.
But how can something so personal really impact entire communities?
Well, picture those walls, right?
Yeah.
Big, tall walls of distrust.
Yeah.
Each genuine friendship, each act of understanding, it's like chipping away at those walls brick by brick.
I love that analogy.
And suddenly they become individuals, right?
Not just a faceless group.
Exactly, not just stereotypes. And these shared experiences, open conversations, they start to challenge those preconceived notions.
Start to see the person.
And you replace fear with understanding.
Which builds trust.
Which builds genuine trust.
Right, like a ripple effect.
Exactly. Those individual connections create this network of understanding that can spread throughout the whole community.
Wow. Okay, so where does leadership fit into all of this?
Leadership is crucial. Leaders need to step up, create environments that foster collaboration, and celebrate diversity.
Be the example.
Exactly. They need to promote dialogue, model the kind of behavior that breaks down the them versus us mentality.
It all comes back to that core idea that we can't just force people to get along, right?
Right.
Building genuine trust, friendship across those differences, it's the only way to create meaningful, lasting change.
Couldn't agree more.
This has been amazing. Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Any last words for our listeners before we wrap up?
Just this. Think about your own community.
Ooh, good one.
What steps could you take to build those bridges, foster understanding? Maybe it's reaching out to someone you wouldn't normally talk to.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. Or maybe it's engaging in a respectful conversation about something you disagree on.
Yeah,
Remember, real change starts with individual action.
so true.